Hello and welcome home. This is Audio EXP, the weekly podcast from Geek Native. I'm your host, Gertie, and it's time to catch up on a massive week in tabletop gaming. We have major industry shake-ups, some heavy hitters rethinking their strategies, and a closer look at how encyclopaedic role-playing games are built. We are taking a slightly deeper dive into news this week, unpacking the why behind the headlines. So, let's get right into it. Our headline story this week focuses on Surbrook Press, who you might remember as our February Publisher Spotlight winner. They have a fascinating history of building truly encyclopedic role-playing game worlds, drawing on inspirations from the likes of Elizabeth Moon to Aaron Alston. Behind Surbrook Press is Michael Surbrook, an accomplished game designer who actually worked on Aaron Alston's Strike Force. This depth of experience really shows in how he constructs their settings. It's not just about throwing monsters into a book, it's about deeply researching history and folklore so that when players encounter something, it feels grounded and rich. It's a fantastic reminder of the value of human curation and historical deep dives in an industry that's currently arguing about the soul of creativity. And speaking of that argument, the debate around artificial intelligence in the tabletop space has escalated rapidly this week. Following last week's discussion about Hasbro's executive stance on AI, the board game industry has been rocked by the sudden departure of Ryan Dancey from Alderac Entertainment Group, or AEG. Dancey was the chief operating officer for over a decade. He left after making controversial social media posts claiming that AI could generate game designs equal to AEG's current hits. He stated on LinkedIn that he had zero reason to believe that an AI couldn't come up with Tiny Towns or Flip Sevens or Cubitos. Dancey's argument is that the game publishing is less about unique special ideas and much more about execution, suggesting that AI is well suited for this. The community backlash was immediate, with critics arguing this devalues the creative labour of human designers. John Zinzer, CEO at AEG, quickly confirmed they had parted ways, citing the need for leadership, alignment and clarity. This is a massive story because Ryan Dancey is a towering figure in geek culture. He was a key architect of the original open game license at Wizards of the Coast and instrumental in the 2023 community campaign to protect the OGL from Hasbro. To see a champion of community curators now taking this stance on generative AI and leaving a major publisher over it shows just how polarised the industry is becoming. In other strategic shifts, fans of Pathfinder and Starfinder will need to rethink their summer plans. Paizo has officially announced that PaizoCon has been removed from the 2026 calendar. The publisher is framing this as a temporary hiatus to re-evaluate the event's format, making it more enjoyable and effective. Maya Coleman, community and social media specialist at Paizo, noted they needed time to come up with something that works great for everyone. And this makes sense when you look at their logistics right now. They recently completed a difficult migration to a big commerce-powered web store and are pushing towards the Starfinder 2nd edition full release. However, the community isn't sitting idle. The Organised Play Online region has stepped up to announce Bridging the Gap 2026, a grassroots online convention scheduled for the 22nd to the 25th of May. And while we will miss the traditional Eric Mona keynote, Paizo has confirmed that the major product reveals will shift to standalone live streams throughout the year. It really highlights the tension between prestige, all-person events, and the vital accessible lifeline that digital conventions provide for international fans. The business side of the hobby is facing significant legal challenges. This week, the US tabletop industry is braced for its next skirmish over international manufacturing and import taxes. A landmark 6-3 decision by the US Supreme Court has ruled that the sweeping global tariffs enacted under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act was unlawful. And while this sounds like a victory, publishers are not celebrating just yet. The 145% US tariff on Chinese manufacturing partners severely disrupted the production costs for rulebooks and miniatures. Stone Maya Games, known for Wingspan, joined a federal lawsuit to fight this, facing nearly £1.1 million or $1.5 million in pending bills. The Games Manufacturers Association, or GAMA, also joined a separate lawsuit in Texas. Crucially, the Supreme Court did not explicitly order the US government to return the funds automatically. The question has been left to lower courts, like the US Court of International Trade. It's going to therefore be a lengthy refund war, but the companies that filed preemptive lawsuits are now positioned at the front of the queue. Over at Wizards of the Coast, D&D Beyond has revealed its 2026 roadmap, signalling a fundamental shift in how the digital toolkit operates. They are moving away from hard-coded logic and completely rebuilding the service to function as a data-driven game engine. Laura Thompson, Software Engineering Manager, explained that the defining roles and content as data should deliver faster load times and allow greater flexibility for applying rules. This is a massive technical undertaking. For players, this kicks off in March with Quick Builder, an art-forward tool to create level 1 characters in minutes, but the real focus seems to be on Dungeon Masters. Zach Cohen, Principal Technical Product Manager, described the development philosophy for the maps of VTT as Honda Accord, not F16, meaning that they are prioritizing ease of use over overwhelming complexity. The team is hosting a Reddit AMA on D&D Next subreddit on the 24th of February at 6 PM GMT to discuss these changes further. We are also seeing massive consolidation in the event space. Best Coast Pairings and Key Rune Incorporator, that's the team behind Melee GG, have announced a formal merger to create Galactic Events Studio. This merger aims to bridge the gap between wargaming, card games, and board games into a single, streamlined ecosystem. If you play Warhammer 40k, you likely use BCP. If you play Magic the Gathering or Star Wars Unlimited, you use Melee GG. Now they are bringing all this together. Scott Elliott, CEO of Keyrune, noted that they support more than 6,000 stores and 10,000 organisers globally. Paul McClevery, CEO of Best Coast Pairings, highlighted that the combined team will deliver best-in-class tools for all the events of all sizes. Their new Match Manager tool is scheduled for a live demo at GAMA 2026 in early March. If you prefer your board games on the screen, Asmodee and Netflix have struck a major partnership to adapt the Ticket to Ride board game. This currently includes a feature film in development written by Ben Meckler and Chris Amick. Alan R. Moon, the game's official creator, is joining the project as an executive producer. It's a huge move for a game that has sold over 20 million copies and proves just how much the streaming giants are leaning into tabletop intellectual property. In one of the more delightfully bizarre stories of the week, the humble schoolyard game of tic-tac-toe is being reimagined as a high-stakes professional esport. The Worldwide High Score League has announced the Worldwide Tic-Tac-Toe Championship. Launching with installations at the Port Authority bus terminal in New York City, the competition will culminate at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas this March. This is the brainchild of the comedian and media entrepreneur Victor Venardo. The league is trying to bypass the fact that tic-tac-toe is a mathematically solved game by exploiting human error through timed rounds and expanding the 4x4 or 5x5 boards. As King Supernuts, the Grand Commissar and final boss of the league, told Geek Native they use public pressure to obliterate mastery. It's framed as a gateway drug to professional esports for non-traditional audiences. Just to round out with some quick hits, Hit Point Press is bringing a criminal underworld to 5e in Most Wanted. Slay Industries is targeting a more savage future with new mechanics, and Timothy Brown is leading an official Traveller 5e adaptation for Backer Kit. We finish up this week with our bundles and deals. If you're looking for Cybernaut punk action on a budget, the Neon City Overdrive bundle is still offering high-tech, low-life role-playing games at a great price. Alternatively, if you want to explore infinite horizons, there are excellent toolkits available right now for both Downcrawl and Skycrawl. I have checked the dates and you have plenty time to grab these bundles before they expire. That's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Audio EXP. For all the links and the full stories, head over to Geek Native. Until next week, stay geeky.